On this episode of the Rest Friends podcast, we're going to recap our favorite moments of this year's Royal Rumble. We're also going to talk about AEW's women's division. All right, Rest Friends, let's talk about wrestling.
Are you ready?
If you want some, hurry up and come get some.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Because you're not feeling loosey?
I said, are you ready?
What's up, Rest Friends? My name is Edie.
And my name is Teddy.
And you're listening to the Rest Friends podcast. And oh my goodness, that Royal Rumble Rest Friend was insane.
That was really cool.
Before we talk about all things wrestling, Rest Friend, how are you? I logged in and I literally was like, Rest Friend, this is going to be our first episode of the year. And you're like, Rest Friend, what are you talking about?
Wait.
So that shows how my morning is going. But how's your morning going?
It's okay, Rest Friend. My morning has been okay. I've been up since 5 a.m. I was just chilling on my bed, to be honest, until I had to get up and shower. So it's just been a chill Sunday, to be honest.
I think I woke up in a daze because my alarm went off at 7:45. And I'm like, why is my alarm going off right now? And I was like, dismiss. And then it rings again at like 8:15. And I'm like, what is going on? I was like, it's Sunday. I don't have anything to do. And I literally told you last night, Rest Friend, I was like, oh, okay, we're going to record at 9. And then I'm like, sitting there in bed and I'm like, well, let me just watch the YouTube video or something. Maybe, I don't know. It's just like, I need to get up. And then at 8:30, it strolls around and I'm like, oh my God, I have to record. And then I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta wash my face. I gotta make my protein shake, my cafecito, whatever. And then I was like, Rest Friend, we gotta move it to 9:15 because your girl is running late. But man, I feel like it's just been a long week for me because I had to work double shifts. So I don't know. Rest Friend, we were talking about this before the stream started, but working is so hard.
Rest Friend, I give it to you because, okay, first of all, double shift. That's crazy. A whole week.
But
I hope your paycheck is worth it. I hope it shows on your
paycheck. It better
paycheck.
be because I'm going to WrestleMania. And these WrestleMania prices are outrageous, Rest Friend.
Okay, you're going to need your whole paycheck for your ticket.
Yes, for one night.
That's crazy. No, I did see the prices.
You know, me and I'm going with Lowe's in Vegas, but she was like, oh, well, we kind of played with the possibility of not going to Mania, but like, you know, we're still good in Vegas, whatever. But then I'm like, you can't be in Vegas and not go to Mania. Like, I was like, at least we have to go one night. So we're kind of playing with like, we might go, if not both nights, we're going to definitely try to go that one night. And that night would be for John Cena's match, whichever night it would be. So I need them to update the match cards and start thinking about which night he's going to be on because that's really good. Yeah, because we need to know. That's going to really affect my budget.
Yeah. No, Rest Friend, I really hope you guys find tickets and you guys, I hope you're able to go to both nights, but for sure, at least one night. You have to. It's like you said, how are you going to be around and not go to WrestleMania, right?
Exactly. That's just...
And to John Cena's.
Yes. It's going to be like it's crazy if we don't end up going. But Rest Friend, let's move into wrestling and talking about the Rumble because Penta, iconic. Which, quick little my beef with WWE Shop, they put out the cutest Penta t-shirt. And I'm like, oh my God, this is new. I'm so excited. I have to get this. And it's only available in youth sizes. Like, what the heck?
Oh, that t-shirt doesn't even look like it's for youth. What do you mean they only have it for youth sizes? Okay, kind of. So it's like a little Penta or something?
It's a tiny little Penta. And he's like in a cartoon figure doing like the Cero Miedo. And I'm like, this is so cute. So, of course, you know me, I go on Twitter and immediately complain. And I tag WWE Shop. I'm like, all right, WWE Shop, I'm going to need this Penta tee in an adult size, please. And somebody responded this morning at 8 in the morning when I was supposed to be awake. They said, request submitted, Iridian. Lennon from WWE Shop.
Okay, Lennon.
Okay, I was like, okay, shit's getting done. You better send me that shit for free. Like, because if I brought it to your attention that this is a cute t-shirt, that this is one that girlies would wear, that they would love, that they would appreciate, I feel like WWE doesn't care. I mean, they do care, but like that they don't care about merch sometimes because like...
Yeah. I feel like every company is like that, restaurant, because I feel like we have our frustrations when it comes to merch all the time. Like I for sure have had complaints with AEW's merch,
Hmm.
and I for sure have had complaints with WWE's merch. So there's always something.
It's always something. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm glad they addressed the issue. Shout out to WWE Shop for quickness. And they already said they shipped out my shirt that I ordered last night. So
Oh
they're
wow.
on it. What I will say, pro wrestling tees could never.
Hell no.
Oh
I've
my
never in my life gotten a t-shirt in not even 2 weeks. Like
You
that.
said 3 weeks maybe. And for pickup.
maybe, maybe that's my problem though. Maybe my problem is that I always put pickup. I don't know. I think I should try. It's just that why do I want to pay six whatever dollars for shipping when
When
the
you
store is
live
like right
here.
here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
doesn't make any sense, but I mean, I'm not going to tell them how to run their business. I'll just tell them how to run their
Right.
business.
What the fuck do I know, huh?
So let's start with the men's rumble because
Okay.
I'll leave the women's rumble to the end, but the men's rumble I wasn't as excited for as the women's rumble,
Me neither. Hmm.
but it won me over in the first two immediately because Rey Mysterio gets pulled at number one, and I'm like, oh
Hmm.
my God, okay, we're starting off with Rey, wonderful, and then my immediate thought was like, oh man, I guess it would be cool if Penta comes out. But I was like, I don't think they'll have Penta at number two. Next thing you know, Penta comes out at number two, and I'm like, they're really doing this? They're giving us the match without giving us the match, essentially, of having Ray and Penta in the ring together, sharing that moment. And I do believe that it was the first time that two Mexicans have started the Royal Rumble. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, representation. I feel represented. I'm here.
They did it. Yeah, I know.
How did you feel
I had
watching
the
this?
No, I had the same thought as you because I mean, of course, it feels so cool to have like the two Mexicanos. That first of all, one of them has been shaking up WWE. Penta has been shaking up WWE ever since the rumor started that he was going to go to WWE, right? Um, no, that was amazing. Are you kidding? That was beautiful.
It was so awesome to see. And they also gave each other like that respect in the ring. You saw it in
Yes.
their eyes. They also, I believe they shook hands. They did something or like a gesture or
Hmm.
something. And I was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool. I can't wait for this." And that really got me excited for the men's. And I'm like, "All right, this is where we're starting." Shout outs to Penta and Ray. There was a little mishap which I didn't see. I don't know. I
Was
close
there really?
I close my eyes when somebody's feet hit the floor.
Oh, we didn't see that. I don't even know what you're talking about.
And honestly, I was like so when I went back to look at the replays, I was like, "Oh, it might have been two, but I didn't see anything, whatever." But while I was watching it, it was only 1 foot. And I was like, "It's only 1 foot. Both feet need to touch the ground." So,
Right.
you guys need to read the rules again cuz ustedes no saben. That's
Hmm. Hmm.
that's what I was thinking. And it's also crazier that the crowd kind of like, paused and they were like, is it happening? Is it not happening? Because I would have been like, oh my God, yay. Like, I would have been like, nothing happened. Todo sigue igual. Like, oh, Penta didn't get disqualified or eliminated or whatever. So the
Hmm.
crowd staying silent for a little bit, I was like, you guys are little bitches. Because why would you do that? Wouldn't have been me if I was in the front row, if I paid all that money to sit at the Royal Rumble because
I
tickets were expensive, us friend. I know you were also looking into them, right? They were crazy expensive.
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah, because we kind of talked about possibly going.
Yeah. With our Greyhound, we wouldn't have even made it on the Greyhound, us friend. That shit was too expensive.
You did want us to take a Greyhound. I can't.
Yeah. The Greyhound would have been great though. It would have been, I think it was like probably less than $100 for the both of us. It was only a couple hours.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
not
we
that
would have
far.
we would have had to find like an Airbnb or done something. But the prices being, I think the cheapest one was about $600 ish to
For
have like
nosebleeds.
good seats. And I was like, oh my God, are they pricing us out? And I honestly, let me write this in my notes because I don't want to forget. We'll bring this up later. It's the
Okay.
prices in WWE, but I don't want to say that it's WWE's fault because their prices have always kind of been like, okay, I get it. It's a WWE event. We know what the prices are. We're more comfortable going to AEW shows because we get good seats for like the same amount of price, right? But I do think it's a TKO issue now that
No,
these
absolutely.
new
Yeah.
prices.
And Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Ticketmaster has to also have a huge part in it because when tickets do come out, they're a little pricey, but they're not that crazy.
Yeah.
Once they hit the third market sellers websites,
Hmm.
that uh, the third
It's a
party
free for
websites, I
all.
mean, those those are crazy.
Definitely a free for all.
Um
So I'm gonna save that little sticky note, and we'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, Penta, honestly, what they've been giving him, Russ Friend, I've been so impressed with, because like
mhm,
we knew Penta could deliver, right? But
mhm,
having him come out, and I was listening to an interview, not the full one, but I saw a clip of him on Chris Van Fleet, and talking about the Cero Miedo, and if Chris asked him if he thought or if he was worried that the people wouldn't know Cero Miedo, but Penta was talking about how Cero Miedo is kind of his like lifestyle now, like that's how you live by, that people come up to him and they tell him like, hey, I was able to go through my cancer treatment because I was constantly thinking Cero Miedo, or I was able to get over this because I was thinking Cero Miedo, and that's such a beautiful thing, right? Because sometimes I don't, you just, I guess you don't know what's going to take off as a wrestler, and to have him be one of the wrestlers who's inspirational, who is really giving people something to fight for, that just makes it all worth like times 10 when you're thinking
yeah.
about a guy like Penta, because he's just so fantastic. And I can't wait for his brother to also be in WWE wrestling, because I feel like they're going to run that tag team division and the singles
Yeah.
division. They're going to run all of it.
Yeah, I agree with friend.
It's so crazy. Um,
I
what's up? Go ahead.
no. I was just gonna continue on the whole
Yeah, yeah.
penta, the whole cero miedo thing. I think also once a wrestler like Penta comes to WWE, whether the people know about the history of Penta or not, and the history behind Cero Miedo or not, it's very catchy. It's very easy to catch on to it. Um, and I'm sure a lot of people were like, okay, what does this even mean? And looked it up immediately. I mean,
you said
the
you said not me, people.
um oh crap, I lost my train of thought now. But no, I think that that's also very cute. I haven't watched that interview, by the way.
Yeah, I want
Wh-
to say the clips are out. I'm not sure if the full interview's out, but
oh,
I
okay.
was very impressed because the Lucha Brothers are not known for doing a lot of English interviews, and
Mm-hmm.
they Penta. Oh my God, sorry. Penta has kind of been moving towards that, trying to do a lot of press in English. So I think this is a big one for them. I think Chris Van Vliet was a perfect guy to interview them, because he's slow in his words, he's patient,
Mm-hmm.
and he is just such a good interviewer at the end of the day. So shout out to Chris Van Vliet. But I think that's going to be a very, very good interview. So I can't wait to fully watch that one, because he's
Mm-hmm.
got long interviews. I think they're like 40-ish minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I'm not sure if it's fully out, but definitely keep an eye out for him, because I think it's
For
going to be
sure.
good. So Penta and Ray are in there. Nobody's feet touch the ground. And then number 3, Chad Gable. Chad Gable comes out, and then at 4 you had Carmelo Hayes, and then at 5 you had Santos Escobar, which I'm like, oh my God, yes, more Mexicans in the ring. Let's do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy to see him in there with Penta, with Ray. What were your thoughts on these first 5?
I mean, when Chad came in, I immediately was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Took me back to the first match that Penta had with him. So I
Yeah,
was like, "Okay, this makes sense. The chemistry makes sense." Santos Escobar. I mean, like you said, more Mexicans in the ring. It just felt like it was just like a really proud moment.
it really was. We got to see Otis come out at 6, and we had Braun Breaker. I Show Speed, which I didn't
The
know who
show
that man
speed.
was, Russ Friend. No,
Really,
no offense to
I
I Show
mean,
Speed.
I saw that video that him Triple H had done about him going to the Rumble. I had no idea that the kid was gonna be in the Rumble. And then the way that he came in, I'm like, I felt so bad for Tozawa.
Yeah, poor Tozawa. And I'm like, you could have given that spot to anybody, but
Right.
I don't know. It
But you
just
know what?
mm.
At least this kid was taking the bumps. I didn't think he was gonna go in there and take the bumps that he did. That was crazy. They put him through a table.
he's
Like what?
he's got to be a WWE fan or a wrestling fan in some type of world. But restaurant, because if they told me if we're ever big crazy streamers and they're like, do you guys want to be in the Rumble? I'd be like, put me through a table.
Right,
You know,
absolutely. I
absolutely.
want to go through a table.
I'm dead. So that spear that he took with Braun Breaker, that was crazy.
That
And
was.
there was videos of it being replayed, and you kind of saw his head like hit the mat really hard, and I'm like, oh my
Really?
god, yeah.
Oh.
So you really saw it like ricochet off the mat. So I was a little worried after seeing those replays, but he's still streaming. He's doing fine, and
You're like, I checked on him.
I checked on him. I know who he is now. And someone was in his comments asking him like, "Oh, are you gonna return to WWE?" And he's like, "No, no, I'm not going back."
No, I seriously was not expecting for him to take all those moves like that.
You know, the
I
spear would have been one thing, right? But like you said, the
right.
table afterwards, just getting tossed onto it, insane.
No, that was crazy. I'll give it to him for that. Yeah, we don't know who he is, what he does. I had only heard about him once before because he mentioned one of my favorite K-pop idols,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, okay, I don't know who this is, whatever, right? And then when I saw him talking to Triple H, I was like, oh, I guess that's the kid. But like I said, I was not expecting him to go in there, take all those bombs, especially that going to the commentators table that he didn't even break, so that must have hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I mean, it is what it is, but
yeah.
props to him. I knew who Kai Cenat is, and Kai Cenat was, I think, in like the first row. He's also a streamer. He's one of the ones that I don't watch his streams, but I will watch like clips on YouTube or something on TikTok of him. So I am more familiar with him. But the streamers, they're really picking WWE up, and I do like that his iShowSpeed's own camera person was like running down with him to like get the footage, because
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, that's so
yeah.
us, that's so me. I would be like, oh my god, look where we are. We're here with Hey Rest Friends.
How crazy would that be?
That would be insane. Very
Insane.
insane.
And he got to come down one of the coolest ramps too. Like I love when WWE has the really long Royal Rumble
Mhm.
ramp. Even though it takes them forever to get to the ring, I think those are really fun.
I also think that that's so much fun because I feel like the wrestler's adrenaline has to be at the ultimate max. So you need that little run before you get in there to really
Yeah.
like help you in that moment. But
Yeah.
iShowSpeed lasted 56 seconds. I'm I'm looking at the times right now, and he was eliminated by Otis.
Uh-huh.
So insane. Coming out at number 9, we had Sheamus, and then we had Jimmy Uso. Andrade came out. Jacob Fatu, which I was like, damn, Jacob Fatu? That's crazy in the Rumble. Like, I know he's about to destroy some people.
Yes.
We also had Ludwig Kaiser at 13, The Miz at 14. And at number 15, TNA's own champion, Joe Hendry.
I can't.
Best friend, you know I love Joe Hendry. And
I do.
mistakenly, a lot of people are calling him Joe Henry, and it's not Joe Henry. It's Joe Hendry. There's a D in there. So
Don't
get
get
it
it twisted.
get it together, people. But as soon as that say his name and he appears, I was like, oh my god, it's Joe Hendry.
I cannot see this man without thinking about how excited you get over this man.
And my dad was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, this is Joe Hendry. And then I was singing the whole song. And my mom was also watching the Rumble with us. So she was also equally as confused. But
Uh-huh.
it was just so fun when he came out. And I loved that the fans were also very excited to see him, because Joe was somebody that I was like, yes, now that WWE has their deal with TNA, this would
Yeah.
be somebody that could cross over. I wished more people from TNA would have crossed over, like Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy. But it is what it
Yeah.
is, right? I feel like we still
Yeah.
have time to work up to that. Now that Jeff
Yeah.
and Matt, did you see that they released they had a WWE reactions video that was like reacting to their match at so and so. So I'm like, oh, They're
I
doing
didn't.
packages with WWE now. Interessante. So
Okay.
there's
I
something there.
mean, they have to, right? Right? They have to. We have to see them there sometime soon. Maybe hopefully this year.
Hopefully
Oh,
this year.
best friend, can you imagine if you are WrestleMania, you get a moment like that one WrestleMania when they came back?
Oh my God, that's my favorite WrestleMania moment of them, where the
What
new
year was that?
the New Day's on top of the ramp, and they're like, who could be joining them in this, ladder match, this fatal 4-way, and then Jeff and Matt's music hits, and I just remember commentary, Corey Graves specifically, which we will talk about Corey Graves maybe, but Corey Graves was like, Jeff and Matt helped innovate the ladder match, make it what it is today. Like, that's just the quote that has stuck with me since that. And I'm just like, that was such a crazy moment. I can't even imagine what it was like for people who were there,
To be there,
what they
yeah.
felt in their heart, like the excitement. I mean, restaurant, if we were there, I think I would have cried. Like,
No, for sure. I mean, at home, I remember being at home. I was like, what? Like shaking up my house and shit. I can't imagine being there for sure.
and you know what's crazy? Since I don't really follow Impact like that, I did not know that their contracts were up. I didn't know that, all this stuff was happening backstage. So it was truly a surprise for me that they
Hmm.
showed up. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I think that made it even better that I had no clue. But
No, yeah.
a lot of people were chanting delete and I was like, delete? What do you mean? Like
Yeah.
cuz I didn't know about delete Matt Hardy. I
Oh,
was
you
like,
didn't know about, okay,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. But man, it's crazy thing that Joe Hendry came out. I'm glad that he got the pop that he did. Up to those names that I just mentioned, did anyone stand out to you?
Not really. I
Okay.
mean, I guess it was also nice to see Andrade,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I didn't really know what to expect out of him being in there, but I
Yeah.
was excited to see him in there.
Yeah. Once we got to the second half of the 15 people who were going to be in this Rumble, things really picked up because right after Joe Hendry was Roman Reigns.
Hmm.
And everybody was excited for Roman Reigns because commentary kept mentioning, the last 4 Rumbles, he didn't have to be in here because he was the champion. And I was like, damn. Like,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
crazy to think about Roman just really dominating, one, for that long, but two, then of course never having participated in a Rumble, and all these other guys have participated. The Miz, Andrade has been in there before, Rey Mysterio. You had Chad Gable, Otis, and I'm just like, man, this is. Some people have a lot of experience with the Rumbles, and then Roman's coming in here, but Roman's the top dog. It's hard to
Yeah.
see some people in a Rumble match because of how big they are. But man, Roman was really putting up a fight. And overall, he lasted 37 minutes in the Rumble match, which is pretty solid timing.
Wasn't he eliminated by CM Punk?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, do I remember that correctly?
Yes, he was. That'll give us another reason to talk about Punk later.
Uh, okay.
So right after Roman Reigns, we got Drew McIntyre, which 10
True.
out of 10, Drew McIntyre. Love
For
him.
sure.
And then we got
Yes.
Finn Balor, which is my brother's favorite, which, restaurant,
Really?
I went to Ross the other day and I found a little Funko Pop there, the Finn Balor. He was like $3.99. And I was like, I
What?
have to take him. So I took him.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is it a demon battle or just
Just
regular
regular
Finale?
Balor. Yeah.
Mm,
And
okay.
also, I didn't even tell you, I have a Hangman now. He was $2.99 at Ross.
The action figure?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get it because I was like
Yeah, show
so
me.
shook. Can you
Oh,
see?
that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one with his little bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went again and they had MJF.
Damn. I
Same.
have not seen any wrestling related things at all. Well, I haven't gone to Ross, but I do go to Marshall's.
I guess it just like depends on where. Because I remember I have a Kenny Omega plush, the one that talks. You know the one I have in my room,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
got him at Burlington, and he was
Right.
like $11, which I'm like, that's pretty solid. I'll take it. Okay, I'm not gonna leave Kenny on the shelves.
Well, that's so cool. You always find the fun stuff.
I love looking for all stuff. Now 19 we got Shinsuke Nakamura, which presentation on Shinsuke,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. At number 20, we got Jey Uso. We got the return of AJ Styles in 21, which I was like, oh yeah, AJ was gone. I just forgot.
Yeah, me too. Because I thought I remember seeing him on what is that? He's on Raw? No, SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
I thought I saw him on SmackDown. So when they're like, "Oh, the return of AJ Styles," I was like, "Oh,
Oh, never mind. I was like, yeah, same thing, Russman. I'm exactly the same with you. At 22, we got Braun Strowman. 23, my favorite, my pick to win with the Michael Jordan number 23, John Cena. And then, oh man, just that pop for John Cena. I was like, oh my God,
was
I'm so excited that everyone else
was
is
that
so
on
excited.
purpose?" No, yeah, I'm with you, friend.
Yeah. 24, we got CM Punk, which I was like, mid. 25, we got Seth freaking Rollins, and I'm like, here we go. The show's warming up. You got the three, not even three, because like Roman and Drew were already in the match. And I'm
Yeah,
like, contenders to possibly win the Rumble, yes, Roman and Drew. And AJ also making his return would be a possible contender. And now you got Cena and Punk in there. Number 25 was Seth freaking Rollins. So I was like, this is too close. This is too close to
yeah,
call.
yeah.
I felt my heart beating, and I'll just name off the rest, and then we'll fully talk about the Rumble. 26, we got Dominic. 27, Sami Zayn. 28, Damian Priest. LA Knight. And at number 30, we got Logan Paul, which was honestly
Ugh.
such a disappointment. You could have picked anybody. You could have put a veteran there. Where's Stone Cold? Even I would.
No, that was so dumb.
First one, I would have even taken the Undertaker. Put the Undertaker in there.
Oh,
I know, but I would have even taken him. I would have been like, that was cool. That was a little cool moment because him being
and
in the ring with all those other people, I think would have been cool.
yeah, right. At least he's a wrestler that
Yeah,
like has been
yeah.
there forever.
I don't
Ugh.
agree with him politically, but I don't think he's out there well and out either. Um,
He's not banned in Japan, that's for sure.
yep. That's best friend. I've never heard a truer statement said. So, what did you think about all of these guys who performed at the Rumble?
Like you said, when we started talking about this, and you're like, "Oh, I wasn't excited for this." I'm with you on that. I wasn't as excited for the men's rumble like the women's rumble.
Yeah.
But to see a lot of the greats in that ring, it was very nice. I mean, like you said, Seth freaking Rollins came in. I mean, AJ Styles came back, and then you had Seth freaking Rollins in there, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, John Cena, all at the same time, and no, it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give it to them.
I'll give it to them. You got me.
Yeah, yeah. And then they ruined it with Logan Paul, and they ruined it with Logan Paul being. Wasn't he like one of the? Yeah, he was one of the last four. I was
Yes.
like, I could do without that. But other than that, our dudes did great.
And you know what's crazy? The first time that I saw AJ Styles, he was
Yeah.
debuting at the Royal Rumble. So it was like a cool moment to also see him come back. And I'm like, oh, wow, like this is the first time that I saw him and I had no clue who he was. And
Yeah.
now I know who he is and my dad loves him. So
I knew. That's so right. That's his boy.
yeah, loves him, loves Ricochet, loves Penta. My mom loves Kenny. She knows who Kenny Omega is, which is
Okay.
crazy. I was watching one match. I don't remember who it was, and she's like, is this Kenny Omega?" And I'm like, "Yes, mom."
Okay.
So she knew.
Wow.
She knew.
Okay. So out of all the wrestlers that she's watched, like Kenny's the one que se le ha
Yeah,
pegado.
she's like,
Kenny Omega.
wow, that's Kenny, and I was like, damn, okay.
Okay, nice.
There was a moment where it was Rollins and Punk and Roman and Cena, while like everyone else was like knocked out, and Rollins went after Punk, Roman went after Cena, and I was like, this is so poetic. Like, this was such a good sign. And speaking of signs, there was somebody in the crowd who had a huge sign up, and you could see it right because they were like right in the front, so you could the camera picked it up every now and then. But the sign said, "My first Rumble, Cena's last," and I was like, crying in the club.
That's crazy.
Crying in the club. That's such a crazy sign to see, because literally you can make that sign for every event. You could be like, "My first WrestleMania, John Cena's last." Oh my god.
No, that is so cool, honestly. I mean, I wonder, were they little? Was it like their first Rumble because they're very young?
I have to go back and look at it, but I don't think it was a little kid.
Oh, okay. So it was just like their first Rumble
Yeah.
attendance. I mean, okay.
So sad.
So sweet though.
And
So
then
sad, you said.
it was so sad, best friend. You know, I get all emotional. Anything John Cena
I
related.
know,
Oh
yeah.
my god. So then you got down to your last couple guys, which was Logan Paul, CM Punk, John Cena, Jey Uso, and I think AJ Styles was also like part of that like last group. Um, so I was like just thinking CM Punk's gonna get it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we had kind of thought, maybe not John Cena. I think this was too soon to give it to Cena. It would have been great if they did it. But, you know, Logan eliminates CM Punk, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, holy shit, they're doing it. Oh my God. We're getting it right now. I was like, Logan Paul's not winning. Logan Paul's a bitch. Logan Paul's not winning. So I was like, there's no way that they're giving us John Cena right now. And then Logan Paul gets eliminated. And I was like, oh man, now it's just Jay and Cena. And the more I thought about it, I was like, it could go either way. Like I could see them giving it to Jey Uso. I wouldn't be mad about it. But I was like, also John Cena's in there. And the way that it happened, best friend, where John Cena literally just hopped out onto the floor and then his face is so shook, that was my face. John Cena and I had the same face when he got eliminated. I stood up.
Oh,
I was like, they really eliminated John Cena. I wasn't mad at it. I didn't feel a type
yeah.
of way. But I was like, holy shit, they just eliminated John Cena. And Jey Uso picked up the win. And I was like, that's crazy. Jay's getting his WrestleMania moment. Not to say that he hasn't gotten his moment before, because we've seen him at big events get these pay-per-view moments where
Hmm.
the crowd is behind him, everybody's yeeting, the lights are going crazy, the music's going crazy, people have their hands up in the air. I had my hands up in the air when Jey Uso came out. My mom thought I was crazy. She's like, ay, mira, se está divirtiendo. Like, I was like I was genuinely a child. But I did not hate it. The internet
Okay.
did, though, but I didn't.
Yeah, the internet was very
How
upset.
how did you feel in these last couple moments of the Rumble and then seeing Jay pick up the win?
I'm not mad at it, only because I mean, the people do love whenever Jay Uso comes out. Okay, my mind is everywhere. My thoughts are everywhere. The internet being so pissed off, and including Sergio. Sergio was not happy about it. Really tripped me out because when Jay Uso comes out, everyone's behind him. So I was not expecting the outrage on the internet. Right. Yeah.
Yeet.
I feel so fucking stupid saying that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but anyway, I was tripped out that people were upset because everyone's always behind Jey Uso. He comes out and the crowd goes crazy. I was not upset over that. I was not upset that he eliminated John Cena either because again, I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. But yeah, no, restaurant. I was okay. I was wondering how you were feeling that Jay eliminated John Cena, but you said that you weren't even upset about it.
Yeah, no, I was fine. I was like,
Yeah,
John Cena's gonna be at WrestleMania, guys. Chill the fuck out. Even if he
yeah,
doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, that's like my thoughts about this because the way that they've been
yeah,
marketing it, you know how much money they made because they were like, oh, it's John Cena's last Rumble. You know how many
yeah.
shirts they made. They really promoted literally everything. When they were selling these tickets, they were like, it's gonna be John Cena's last Royal Rumble. Make sure you pick up your tickets. They're gonna do the exact same thing for Elimination Chamber. They're gonna do the exact same thing for WrestleMania. You think they're not gonna put John Cena on the WrestleMania card, especially with it
Right.
being 2 nights? Like that man is going to be at WrestleMania. That man's going to be at SummerSlam. He's going to be at the last goddamn Christmas show that they do, the house show for the year, for like a SmackDown or whatever. They're going to showcase John Cena and make sure he's got the longest, fullest year, most fulfilled that he's ever been in the company. And John, I feel like they might have pitched this to him and he's like, sure, give it to Jay.
Yeah, absolutely.
John
I'm
Cena's not
sure
that
he
guy to be like, no.
I'm sure he wants to put everyone else that comes after him over. He strikes me as the type of guy.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be like, you know what? No, it's my last year. We're doing it how I want. So,
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he was even there the whole time, that's already huge. I mean,
yeah.
first of all, we had John Cena in the Royal Rumble. Like, Come on,
That's
right?
crazy. Yeah.
That's so crazy. That's so cool. And then he lasted throughout the whole thing, and then was, he was the two last what do you
Yeah.
call that?
He
The second to
the second
last.
to last. The
I don't
runner up.
even know what I'm saying.
The runner up in the Rumble. Yeah.
The runner up. There you
Yeah.
go.
John Cena lasted 30 minutes. Jey Uso lasted 36, and of course he ended up winning and he eliminated John
Hmm.
Cena. Man, crazy, crazy stuff. It was just insane. But
Yeah.
man, good for them. Let's talk about did you want to talk about any of the middle matches? Because I don't have any
We,
notes about Motor City Machine Guns T-shirt City machine
we we don't have to. We know Cody won.
machine city.
Apparently,
What are they
you're still
called?
trying to figure. I can't with you.
Best friend, if you put them together, I could only name one. I know there's an
Like,
Alex Shelley in there.
well, you can't even name their tag team, right?
Motor
What is it? The
Motor
Motor
the
Cities,
Motor City Machine Guns. I used to call them Machine Gun City.
Machine Gun City.
But yeah, I was just like, "Oh, this is great. Good for them." No shade. I love Johnny Gargano and I love Champa. I know one of the Machine Guns is Alex Shelley. I don't know who the other one is. Alex Riley.
Chris
Oh,
Chris
I
Sabin.
was gonna call him Alex Riley. Are they both named Alex? I would have even thrown a Tyler in
Yes.
there.
Oh my
No
goodness.
disrespect. I think they're good. People say that. People say that they're good.
The Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
You said you think they're good.
I said I think they're good. That's what people say. I don't watch Impact, best friend. I don't know.
No, me neither. But I love that. I love that you say. I love that you say it like that. Like you're being honest. Like people say they're good, so I think they're good.
You know, if I was at a bar and one
Mhm.
of the Machine Guns was also at the bar and they'd be like, "Oh, hello." I'd be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is your name?" Not in like a rude way, but I think I would internally panic. I'd be like, "Oh, hello." And you know how people say like, "Oh, I would act like I didn't know them." I truly don't
Yeah.
know them. So I'd be like, "What's your name? What do you do?"
To be fair, I feel like it happens a lot in tag teams when you're not familiar with a certain tag team. You
Mhm.
kind of either confuse the names or you don't remember the name
First friend,
until you're more familiar with them.
do you remember me and the Young Bucks?
Absolutely, of course.
You saw this in real time that I could not tell
Yeah,
them apart for the life
yeah,
of
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Mm.
Yes, it took you some time, but you got there.
And you know what? It still happens to me, even with like names with the guns. I can't tell you
Yeah.
which one is Colton. I can't tell you which one is Austin. And I think
Okay.
Austin is for sure. Oh damn it, Lowe's. Oh my god. Because my bestie Lo, she is good. She is always on me for like not being able to tell them apart either. And I'm like, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I think Austin is the shorter one. And
Yes.
I get it confused because Austin seems like a tall name. It does.
That is so funny. Austin seems like a tall name.
First friend, but doesn't it? You think of an Austin, don't you think of a tall man? And he's not
To
the
be
tall.
honest,
He's not the taller one of the tag team.
not really.
Colton. Colton seems like a short name.
Ooh, yeah.
All
Well, the
right.
tall one's Colton, best friend.
Yeah. Well, surprises son las cosas de la vida. What is it? No son como yo
Caminos de la vida.
pensaba.
You read up your own lyrics. I love it.
Thank
Son las
you.
cosas de la vida.
Vida, no son. Yep, that's the theme of my life. TBH.
Ooh,
All right,
my
let's
cheeks hurt.
let's get into Cody and Kevin.
Okay.
To get back on track after our tangents. We're so sorry, Rose friends. Sometimes we just go through the journey, and we're glad that you guys follow us through it. But Cody and
It's
Kevin,
it's literally us chismeando, but recording it.
yes. Oh my God, Rose friend. When KO put Cody through the bars of the ladder immediately as the match started, I was like, this is not going to be a match for me. This.
You knew you were gonna be stressed.
I was like, oh my God, ya van a empezar. Like this, there's no way, bro. There's no way.
Uh,
I had a big pop for Kevin Owens on the Kevin Owens on the tiny ladder. I thought that
yeah.
was hilarious. And
Yeah.
then Cody taking all the ladder bumps had me in shambles, restaurant. I was like, please, Cody, defiéndete, do something. What is going on? And then next thing you know, Cody was dangling in the sky. I was like, oh Jesus. That's fine. He was dangling up there.
I definitely think this was a match for the people. I don't know why I'm saying that,
This was a match for the people.
but it was supposed to be like a palate cleanser.
Yeah, yeah.
But then they come out doing all this stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, if rest friends don't know this, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are our two favorites, right? They're rest friends' favorite wrestlers. Like we always talk about how we're gonna be hanging out with them one day,
Yep.
babysitting for them.
Yep. How Kevin Owens loves us.
That's
Kevin
her
Owens
padrino. That's
loves
her future
us.
padrino.
And we love Kevin
Um,
Owens. So good.
so we're like, okay, we're gonna get our two favorites in a match, and then Rich Flag, ¿qué estaban haciendo? Like even Sami Zayn had to come out and check on both of them.
Sami Zayn and other favorites. There was so much going on. There was so much going on.
A lot.
That uh, Cody not finding his footing during the first half of the match, I was like, Cody, you have no momentum. And then you had a really nasty back body drop to Kevin Owens on that ladder where Kevin's head, which honestly, shout outs to them for the timing. They had to know exactly where Kevin was going to fall exactly on that ladder for him to be able to have that space in like to go perfectly in between those two steps. So
Yeah.
props to them. But that looked like Kevin was broken. Like like he was out of commission. That looked crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Did you watch this by yourself? Did you watch it with Sergio?
Yeah, no, I watched it by myself.
Oh my God. What did Sergio say afterwards? Did Sergio watch the match?
I don't think the only comment that he gave me after he watched it was that how it looks like Cody's kind of turning heelish, or it kind of looks like he kind of
Oh my
turning
God.
heelish. That was the only comment he made.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to see Cody as a heel. But also, Cody did his best work as a heel. I know that's when you discovered Cody was when he was doing heelish stuff with the Bucks.
I not discovered him because obviously I know him from WWE.
Yeah.
I got into him when he was having when he started
His heelish
his
moments.
TNA and New Japan road.
That's crazy.
No pun intended. Yeah.
No pun um, if you thought that Cody was undeserving of that title or that he's been boring, this match proved you wrong because it was insane. And again, shout outs to Kevin Owens because he ate that last bump. 10 out of 10, Kevin. I do believe that he'll be a champion soon. I'm hoping sooner rather than
I
later
hope
that he
so.
gets a title run. But man, what a great match.
Yes, I agree. I agree, best friend. Love the blood. Love everything. Love that they were being sponsored by one of my favorite wings places.
Shout outs to the sponsorship.
Shout outs to Wingstop.
Which restaurant are you gonna get wings later? Do you watch the Super Bowl? Today's Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't watch the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to get wings because I don't want them to mess up my order just in case, because I know they're going to be crazy busy.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, no, restaurant. I don't watch it, but I am definitely going to be on it to see who wins because I could see the rivalry online. Like, I could see all the fans going back at each other, talking about why one team's better than the other one. Yeah. I don't know much about it, but I know enough to know that there's something
going on.
There's something going on.
It's so funny because I have DraftKings because sometimes they'll talk about like, bet for AEW or something. So I always sometimes go on and see, and I'm like, you know what? Let me post a little $20 bet on the Super Bowl, and then I get on, and they just had all these bunch of numbers. I don't know what any of this means, Russ friend. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. What the heck is this? Oh, hold on, let me show you.
Russ friend, I cannot imagine.
Russ friend, I was gagged because there's just so many numbers. They're like, mind you, I'm a fan of football, but enough just to know what happens, right? But when you start throwing numbers at me, I'm like, first of all, that's rude. Don't do that to me.
It's like when Sergio talks to me about wrestling and he'll be like, "Oh, Cody Rhodes did this on Kevin Owens," and I'm like, "Can you just show me?
Can you just show me what
I don't know
happened?
what that move is."
We don't need to go into detail. Just tell me what happened. Damn.
No, and it happens with football too. When people do ask me if I watch football, I'm like, "No, I don't understand," and they try to explain it. I'm like, "Yeah, no."
It's not happening. It's really not. And there's just so much going on this little DraftKings app. But you make a same day game parlay, which that's already a lot of words for me. And it's anytime scorer, Travis Kelsey plus 135. What does that mean? Like,
So you also gotta like guess
I
how
don't
many
know.
points
It
and
just
stuff.
has like a little button and you can click on who you want. So you pick 5 people, I guess. And then it tells
That's
you like what the odds are. Odds plus 140. What is
what does
going
that mean?
on? Just put $5 on one team and call it a day. You know? Damn. It's and it gives you like your bet slip on the bottom, and it tells you like who you picked, which it's crazy because there's a over 6.5 Travis Kelsey receptions. What do you mean over 6.5? 6.5 what? 6.5 what?
Yeah,
And then on the bottom it'll tell you if you place a $10 bet, it pays 24 if you win. So it would be great if I knew what these numbers meant. I don't know
yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck any
yeah.
of this means. Like, does it mean yards? Like, I have no idea. And then it tells you like, oh, receiving yards or whatever. I'm just like, just put $5 on a team. I'll tell you how long the national anthem's gonna be, and then I'll tell you how many times they're gonna show Taylor Swift on the screen. That's the gambling that I need. Where is that at? Am I
The
cool?
halftime show. I
Am
can
I?
tell you
I
everything
could
about the
I could tell
halftime
you the
show.
I could tell you the set list of the halftime show. I'll tell you what Kendrick's gonna open with. I'll tell you who he's gonna bring out, and I'll tell you how long it's gonna last. Like, I'm so freaking confused. Honestly, a woman needs to make a sporting gambling app. Could you
Yeah,
imagine? Be like, what color's their gear is gonna be? Oh my god, best
yeah.
friend, I'd bet on that shit. How
No,
many
for sure.
how many jackets are in total are we going to see in the entirety of the show in
Yeah.
debuts? Like, then I'd be like, all right, Cody's got a jacket. Um, who else has a jacket? I don't know. Like
Well,
things like that, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Well, watch by this time next year, restaurant. You're gonna know it all.
best
Watch.
friend,
You're gonna
I
show us on the app.
I love that you have that much faith in me, but I'm
I
never going
do.
to know because what are
I
all
don't.
these? First of all, best friend, I'm bad at math. Um, they
That's
out
fair.
of all the classes that I had in high school, I was taking honors in AP English, honors in AP History, honors in AP just like what else? I think the only class that I didn't take that was honors in AP was math and science because I was very bad at those two.
I was very bad. I was very bad in science. The only advanced class I only took was math.
Best
Do
friend, so
I know
you're good
anything
at
about
math?
math now?
Shut up.
Yes. I don't know how, best
Ah.
friend.
Best friend, you got the math gene. I'm so jealous of people who understand math because that's what I think that's why I ended up hating it. Because at one point it got too hard for me to understand and I just never practiced my skill at it. So I was just
Yeah.
like, fuck this.
Yeah. Best friend, I still count with my fingers. It doesn't make sense to be honest. To be honest with you, I think my ancestors are just on my side and they were helping me like
Do the
guess my
numbers.
work. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how I did it.
Best friend yesterday. I was calculating because my supervisor comes in and she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be time to like ask for raises and stuff." So I was like, "Okay, how?"
Ooh.
I was like, "Okay, so what's the percentage that I would need to get to like this much?" So I was doing like the little old school. I have the sticky note, you just can't see it, but I was
Yeah.
doing like the old school like subtracting, and I got that shit wrong, and I was like, "What?" And then I was like, I did the shit on the calculator, and I'm like, where, donde estoy fallando? Like, because the zero becomes a 10, and then the zero comes a 9. If you like, it's just like, best friend, I was so fucking confused.
Now I want to do a restaurant. See if I was to get it.
I was so
No, I
confused.
get you because when I forgot who in my family I tried helping with their math homework, and they were like, "No, that's not how you do it." I'm like, "What do you mean that? What do you mean? What
Yeah.
do you mean that's not how you do it?"
They do a new
They're teaching
way.
them how to
Yup.
do math in very very different ways now.
That's just crazy. Oh my God. All right. Let's talk about the women's Rumble match. Um, I honestly, the match that I'm always excited for, I think it's just because it's so new. There's so many options. And, I did think for a little while, I'm like, all right, there's only so many times we could bring back Lita. Yeah, there's only so many times you could bring back Trish. Like you already brought in Kelly Kelly. You brought in Melina. Like we can't there's not that many women in our history in WWE for us to display different ones each time. So
Yeah.
I was like, man, they're gonna really they're gonna run into a wall if they keep bringing back Trish and they keep bringing back Lita, which they brought back Trish. It was fine. I
Yeah.
was cheered, but I was like, Trish, I've seen you in all the other rumbles. So
Yeah.
so I was like, and I was like, and you've even had a run. So I wasn't like, oh my God, crazy, Trish is here. But I still love seeing her. So shout outs to her. But let's start. So we start off with Io Sky and Liv Morgan, which I'm like, man,
Yes.
Liv Morgan at number 2, they're really gonna put her through the ringer. And they absolutely did. And Io Sky, same thing. They were only apart 1 minute. So Io was in there for an hour and 6 minutes. Liv Morgan was in there for an hour and 7 minutes, which
Oh,
is the same time as, oh wow, her and Roxanne had the same time, except Roxanne was in there for 47 seconds longer.
oh wow. Okay.
That's crazy, right?
No, that's so crazy. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm looking at those stats. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this whole time I had in my notes, and like I remember Roxanne being there throughout the whole match.
Hmm.
But thank you for pointing out Io and Liv because I didn't even
Put her in there.
realize that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't even realize how long they were in there. You're so right.
I'm trying to find what time, what number. Oh, okay. Because I was like, the way that WWE has this set up at the numbers and stuff, one of them is like off. Because they put Roxanne's full name, so it messed with the formatting
Oh,
of like the
mm-hmm.
spacing and stuff. So yeah, so let's start off with these three women. I was so
Okay.
impressed by their work, them being the ones who had the longest times. And I wonder how long it's happened or how many times it's happened that specifically for the women that the first two or the first three do have really really lengthy times.
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was crazy. I'm really glad that Roxanne got to really showcase what she is able to do because I think she did some really really great stuff in NXT. I didn't watch a lot of it, but every match that I did see from her, I was like, I get it. I saw her match with Jordan Grace, and I think that match was phenomenal in one of the pay-per-views that NXT had. It was amazing. And I think they're really going to put a lot of push into her to really showcase her well in the main roster. So I wonder what they're going to do with her, but I'm thinking Roxanne has a really bright future on the main roster. What do you think?
No, I agree with you, Rich friend. She reminds me a lot of Bailey.
Mm,
Just I guess just the way that when I started watching wrestling again and I started to love Bailey. I don't know why. Like
it clicked.
the way she just comes in the ring and like I don't know. It's just something about her reminds me so much of Bailey. But to see her and now that you mentioned Io and Liv also being there for so long, I think those are like three perfect women to, you know, have come out and lasted that long, especially also because people do like to bring up how little they are.
Hmm.
Right? Literally all
Yeah.
three of them. So
So it was nice to have them
and
be like the anchors of the Rumble. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was cool to see. Number 4, we got to see Lyra Valkyria, who is the first ever women's intercontinental champion. And I'm like, that is just so cool to even say that we have a women's intercontinental champ. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited to see how that plays out. Because also, I was watching. I subscribe to Sheamus's YouTube channel, the Celtic Warrior
Uh-huh.
workouts, and she put him through the ringer. All these women have the hardest workouts for him. Like I remember Maxine had him do Pilates. His legs were up in the air, rest friend on the little mesita. I was cracking up. But Lyra had this really cool like she would do a push up and then go immediately into like a stretch. And she's like, okay, we're just gonna do 20 of these. Okay, let's do 20. And then he's like, Sheamus is a big guy, so he was
Yeah.
like they're struggling to like get up, and then he's like, he's like, do it, it's okay, do it without me. And she's like, no, it's okay, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you to catch up to me. And I was like, damn. And I was like just immediately impressed by that alone. So I was like, damn, girl, you put him through the ringer. So shout outs to you. At number 5, we got to see Chelsea Green, which I
Yes.
was so happy for her because we finally got to see her have a lengthy time in the Rumble and be so good. In the past years, she's gotten eliminated almost immediately.
Immediately.
And there was an interview that I was watching of her. I don't remember the guy's name, but she said to him that she has always kind of taken, she's like, her moments in WWE, she's like, no matter what it is, big or small, she's like, I want to try to make it a moment because that time is like reflective of her. So she's like, even if it was, getting eliminated at the Rumble in 5 seconds, she's like, I'm gonna make it into a funny spot. She's like, because she's trying to make the most out of everything that she gets. And I'm like, I like you, Chelsea. And I'm just glad that she's a champion now and that she has such a good showing in the Rumble. She's cracking me up, best friend.
No,
When
she's funny. She's a character.
it just works for her. It works for her,
Yeah.
and I love that. So shout outs to Chelsea. We also saw B-Fab, Ivy Niles, Zoe Starks, Lash Legend, who I was excited to see because she's on NXT, and I was like,
Hmm.
she's a big girl, and I'm ready.
I think, yeah.
I think she can
I think she's gorgeous.
own that division. She can own that
Yeah.
division if she wants to. And then we got to see Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Bailey, Sonya Deville, Maxine, and Naomi. Out of those first 15 people, Russ friend, what were your thoughts on this Rumble in the beginning?
Okay. It's always very nice to see Bianca Belair
Mm-hmm.
and Bailey in there. I'm like trying to look at my notes. What do I have for that?
Yeah.
um, what else do I have? Oh my god, I don't have much notes
You
on
know,
that. I just have how like excited I was to see
yeah.
Bailey come out because she was last year's winner,
Yeah.
who also then won the WrestleMania match. So that was
Yes.
very exciting. She had also last year lasted the longest
Mm-hmm.
in the Royal Rumble match, and now Roxanne beat that time, which is so cool. You know,
It
again, like
builds the
talking about
feud. Yep.
yeah, talking about how Roxanne reminds me of her. I'm like Roxanne beating Bailey's time was I don't
Yeah.
know, it's so cool. Just for by a couple minutes
Yeah.
too. But yeah, that's what I have on that restaurant.
It's so funny that you brought up Bailey because as soon as Bailey is coming out, commentary immediately was, giving the stats on, oh, if Bailey wins this year, she'd be one of only, I don't remember the number, but like to have consecutively won Rumbles, back to
Yes,
back. And I'm
she
like, that's crazy.
yeah, I believe she entered Rumbles like three in a row or something like that. I forgot the number, but yes, I know what you're talking about because
Something
they
like that.
compared her to
But to
Shawn
also, yeah, but to
Michaels
also win. I think that's what it is. I think Shawn
I
Michaels
think
has
that
entered the Rumble back to back and won back to back
and
Rumbles.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Interesting. Somebody correct us. We're not streaming live right now to have somebody correct
Yeah.
us on site. But crazy, crazy stuff. And you know what? Sonya Deville is in here at 13, and Sonya was just released from
Yes, that's what I have
WWE.
on here. Like, okay, that's my favorite number. She comes out. I love how they were talking about her like she's, scary or whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, she's gone. Like,
And that trio that she was working with, and I was like, you're gonna get rid of
mhm.
Sonya. Not
Yeah.
to say that they should have gotten rid of the other ones. That's not what I'm saying. But Sonya has been such an anchor in the women's division, and I feel
Mhm.
like maybe a lot of guys would be like, oh, it's Sonya Deville, whatever, or like it's one of the women, whatever. No, it's not whatever. Sonya is literally an OG in that roster,
Mhm.
and she's been
Mhm.
with that company through so much. I remember she had the problem with the stalker. Do you remember?
Yeah.
When somebody was trying
Mhm.
to break into her house, and it like she came back and she just really was just an anchor in the division. And I'm just like, man, now she's gone. Like, really? You didn't have anything for Sonya Deville? I think they really dropped the ball on her. And even Shayna Baszler, which we'll get to later, but like Shayna, they're not doing enough with her. I think when Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey came in, they had the perfect opportunity to really put Shayna and Sonya in big storylines with Ronda Rousey, and they did not do that. So
I
I'm just
agree.
this is the one that's the most upsetting to me was that Sonya Deville was let go because I love Sonya.
No, I'm with you because we were talking about Chelsea Green. They both came in around the same time because they were
Mhm.
both on the same Tough Enough episode.
Yeah.
I see them the same because they're two people that have been there for so long who have they've been let go before and then they brought them back. So that's another reason why I love to see Chelsea Green out here because
Mhm.
she wasn't in WWE, she was let go and then they brought her back and now she's flourishing she's doing amazing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the same thing was going to happen with Sonya. I'm like, okay, she's working with these two other women. There's something cool is going on. They're trying to do something different with her, something that matches her vibe. And then bam, like she's just not there
Yeah.
anymore.
It was so sad. And I mean, I'm wishing her all of the best in whatever she chooses to do. I don't know if she's going to continue to wrestle. I don't know if she's just going to do some other things now, maybe go into acting. I don't know. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
opportunities for her out there, but wishing all the best to Sonya. Moving on to 15, Naomi, we got to see Jada Parker, which I was like, Jada Parker, that's kind of a waste because she was saying some transphobic things on Twitter.
Was
So
she really?
she was saying that that's about trans women in sports. So
Oh,
she had a comment on there. Let me pull it up and actually read it so people can know. Jada
I did not know that. Wow.
Parker. So she had liked Instagram post advocating for the ban on transgender athletes. And then the backlash really just went to Twitter, and a user had called her out, and she replied. Let me see if I can pull up. I wonder if she deleted it. Um, Someone said, "Wait, can you give us context on Twitter?" And she was like, "Oh, I'd love to. Somebody wants to be messy, and that's fine because ignorance is contagious. But what they're not going to do is come at me in my name. My opinion doesn't align with theirs, and clearly they don't know how to educate themselves on the real definition of being transphobic." So she said she wasn't being transphobic. If you're gonna like a post about
I mean, how are you gonna say what's transphobic and what's not transphobic? That's
yeah,
the first.
um, she
Yikes.
said but she said that I support LGBTQ community, but I am a woman who also played in D1 sports. If y'all can't understand that, I don't know what else to tell you. So
Mhm.
uh, that's that's that. So
Right.
search the internet with what you will. Um, do the research for yourselves, but my takeaway was that she was saying that, oh, I've played in Division One sports. I know. If I took it as like she said she wouldn't want to be playing against a trans
Yeah.
athlete. That's what it sounded like
Yeah.
to me. That's my
Hmm.
opinion. That's just what I'm saying. But when she came out, I was like, damn, you could have given her spot to somebody else. You could have had
Yeah.
Sol Ruka come out. There's a lot of women on the NXT roster who could have been given that opportunity,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't given to them. So that it is what that is on that. But 17
Yeah.
we had Piper Niven. At 18 we had Natalia, and then at 19 we had Jordan Grace, who they made a
Hmm.
big deal about because, well, first of all, she looked fantastic. I think this is the most amazing I've seen Jordan look. Her tan was a 10 out of 10. Her hair was looking good. The gear was looking good. So I was like, okay, Jordan. She said, I have my moment and I'm going to take it. She looked good. And then at 20, we had Meechin. 21, we got the return of Miss Alexa Bliss. Rest friend.
Hmm.
Alexa's back. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's so cool. It literally feels like WWE back in the day.
Not the back of the day. It feels, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It has like that old school feel.
Yeah, it takes Alexa takes me back because she was running
Yeah.
WWE for a very long time. I mean, starting off with NXT, I started watching Alexa Bliss in NXT, and that girl was on fire,
Yeah.
on fire.
10 out of 10. She's been um, one of my favorites. And just she came out with the jacket that said friend on the back, or fiend, but it was just the fiend
Mm-hmm.
was just highlighted. And I'm like, oh man. And she brought back Lily. I believe Lily was flying off the shelves when she was there the first time, so I was like, the merch is going to be merching for Miss Alexa Bliss. So I was just excited
For
to see her
sure.
back. She's a mom now, so oh my god, I'm just good for Alexa. I'm glad that we get to see her
Yeah.
again. Zelina
Yes.
Vega
Same.
came out dressed as the butterfly belt, as the OG women's championship, and those wings just they look so beautiful. Honestly,
She looks so cute.
a lot of people hate that butterfly belt, not me.
Well, I know. Like, what? What do you mean? It's part of our history. I know people want to affiliate it as like, oh, a time when women weren't given, the same equal opportunities as the men. Yeah, I get that, but the belt means so much to
The
us.
belt
Like,
means
so
so
much to
much
us.
to us. And two things can be right at the same time, right? Like
Yeah,
it could have been a time, yes, it was a time where women were not showcased and represented um well, but at the same time, the women who held that championship and that era
exactly.
that we watched it, I truly do have a love for that time because they were the only women that I was watching on TV. that were fighting, that were being strong, that were taking their time and just really like being amazing. So,
Exactly. That belt represents the women that fought hard for these women that are here now
yep,
to be able to do the things that they've been doing.
yep. At number 23, we got to see Candice LeRae. 24, Stephanie Vaquer, best
Mhm.
friend. I was gagged. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I love Stephanie so much. She's like my Penta. Like if I was like Mario's Penta, mine is Stephanie Vaquer. Like I
Okay.
love Stephanie Vaquer. She's amazing. 25, we got to see Trish Stratus, which first friend, you know when the laugh comes out, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yes. Yeah.
You're ready to.
Oh, yes.
At number 26, we got Raquel Rodriguez. We got Charlotte Flair, which we knew
Mhm.
Charlotte was winning, right, best friend?
I did.
We knew.
I did. I did. As soon as she came out, I knew she was going to win. Absolutely.
She got the pyro. She got the entrance.
The
The
entrance.
fit was spectacular.
Yeah.
So she deserved it. She deserved it. And people who were saying no, she didn't because she hasn't been here, close your eyes. Close
It
your
doesn't
eyes.
even,
It doesn't matter.
doesn't even matter.
It's Charlotte Flair. She's the
Yeah.
queen, Russ friend. She's gonna be a 17-time world champion before John Cena. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yes, exactly. That's what people hate, restaurant. They hate it when women are queens. Like, it's
Yes.
okay.
At number 28, we got to see Julia. That was
Yes,
cool.
that was very cool to see Julia in the Rumble.
Who would have thought, right?
I know. When it comes to Stephanie Vaquer and Julia, who would have fucking thought?
It's crazy.
So fucking dope.
At number 29, we got to see Nia Jax, who, by the way, had a shit ton of eliminations. She got Zelina out,
Yes.
Trish, Bianca, Naomi, Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky, Raquel, Liv, and Nikki Bella. Which, number
Mm-hmm.
30, Nikki Bella. Let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you, a lot of people were upset. Not me, Russ friend.
Were they really?
People were like, because people thought AJ Lee was going to come out. And I'm like, shut up, you losers. Which there was a possibility that AJ was going to come out, but CM Punk talks about it all the time that AJ's fine at home. That when she wants to come back, she'll come back, and AJ can do what she wants. She can do what
Exactly.
she wants. Nikki Bella, I'll tell you why I think this is significant.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had just seen her on this red carpet for a WWE event, and my mind immediately went to like, oh my God, they're back on good terms. Because when the Bellas left WWE, they came out, and of course they had to change their whole names. They were no longer allowed to be the Bella twins. They now had to be the Garcia twins, and they had to remake their whole brand because WWE did not give them the Bella's name. They were
Right.
like, our contract was coming up, and they were not, they had not talked to us about keeping our name or not keeping our name. And then when we were done, they were just like, no, the name is ours. And they didn't even try to negotiate anything with them percentage wise. Even a percentage would have been like, okay, you guys can still do this, but we still own this much of the name. Which I'm like, that's so fucking shitty because these women did so much for you. They, not even total divas, total Bellas, they brought so many eyes on women's
Yes.
wrestling, and you're gonna do them
Yes.
dirty like this. That was honestly so disrespectful. That pissed me the fuck off. Because we know that WWE has done some shady shit. And
Yeah.
to do it to the Bellas, like really,
Yeah.
I remember
I know.
being at Ace Comic Con, and that's where I met the. I was yeah, I think I want to say it was at Ace where I met the Bellas, and there was the longest line for the Bellas meet and greet for this photo op, and this guy in front of me was with his wife, and he's like, "All these women are here for like the Bellas, like that, like all of them are here," and the girls would be like, "Oh yeah, we watched Total Bellas, we watched Total Divas," and some of them didn't even watch wrestling, but they
Yeah.
knew who the Bella twins were because they really made themselves into a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, seeing Nikki on the red carpet, I was like, oh my God, they have to be on good terms now because there's no way. And they even said Nikki Bella. They didn't say Nikki Garcia. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, here we go. So seeing her at number 30, yes, I was excited. And I was like, oh my God, she's coming back. She just had some stuff going on in her personal life. And if you read her book, her and Bree's book, the Bellas have been through so much. There is a lot of trauma. There's a lot of healing that's happened to them, and who they represent as women is just phenomenal. So seeing her at 30, I feel like maybe people think I'm taking this too far, but it was incredible to see her come
Yeah.
out and just be able to continue, not only to have now her name, um, her Nikki Bella name, because now you think, oh, Brie could also come back. You know, there's just so many
Mm-hmm.
possibilities, but
So many
all the
possibilities.
fucking haters can go choke. That's what I have to say.
Of course, we're trying
Losers, losers who need to get a job, get a life, and get out of their mom's basement. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we've been having to hear dumbass comments like that our entire lives as wrestling fans, right? Always, 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 we have had to hear the men or just anybody put down the women in WWE. So it really sucks that someone like Nikki Bella, who, like you said, her and Brie did such huge things for WWE. Because you're right, restaurant. Everyone in my life that I'm very close to, that I love, that doesn't watch wrestling, because no one like really watches wrestling in my family, they know about the Bella twins, even though they don't know anything else about wrestling. But they know who the Bella twins are. They know where they came from. They know what they did in wrestling because of the shows. So you're right, restaurant. They're it's like we were saying earlier about who were we talking about? Oh, Charlotte.
Mm.
Um, they're just gonna hate it when women are up there. We're
Just
always gonna have to hear.
it's yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Hate men.
But
Couldn't care.
same. But she's here.
She's here, and I'm
She's
excited. Her t-shirts was one of the top sellers of that Rumble weekend. So shout outs to you, Nikki. Love to see it.
wow.
And
There you go. Numbers don't lie.
numbers don't lie. And Charlotte winning the Rumble, people were very upset too. And I was like,
Yes, they
guys,
were.
get over it. Charlotte is gonna put on a fantastic match. She always delivers. Whether you
Mm-hmm.
love her or you hate her, you get a reaction. You support CM Punk, and that man cannot out wrestle Charlotte. I'll tell you that.
Fucking exactly. I am not going to be taking any what's it called, like I don't care about anyone's dumbass comments that supports. I mean, if you're gonna support CM Punk, if you're gonna be a fan of his, you have nothing to say about the women. Nothing. Because
Period.
none of the women there, no, can't
Mm-mm.
compare.
Can't compare. Um, do you have any final thoughts about the Rumble before I talk a little bit about AEW's women's roster?
No, but I do have a question.
Mhm.
Was Jordan signed?
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
I see? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. That's cool.
she officially came out as a member of the WWE. So we don't know where she's
Okay.
gonna go yet, but she's officially there.
But she signed her
Yeah.
contract. Okay.
Shout
Period.
outs to her, right? She did that.
She did
She
that.
did that.
No,
Um,
no, no. My thoughts. Very, very, very amazing Royal Rumble. The women's Royal Rumble reminds me how much I love women's wrestling.
oh,
Every single time, ever since the
yes.
first one, because we were here, we were there
Mhm.
watching the first women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
As a wrestling fan, that we've been watching wrestling since we were very little. The women's Royal Rumble always just it always takes me back. It always gives my heart that little feeling that I used to have back
Yeah.
then. So that's all I have to say. Like, they're my favorite. I love watching the women wrestle.
It's so good. It's so so good. Continuing on that women's train, I do want to talk about Harley Cameron and the work that she's doing right now in AEW with Mercedes Moné. Honestly, it's incredible. Last night on Collision, she had the most perfect segment. Harley Cameron, which restaurants we have become fans of hers through her ventriloquism work in
Yeah.
the RJ City show. We've seen her twice. She is a great singer, great ventriloquist. She's just so funny.
She's
Um,
insane.
we've been able to see her live, and I think that's just really helped us in our fandom for Harley. But
Yeah.
now this feud that she's got with Mercedes, this has made me interested in Mercedes because, Mercedes has what, 3, 4 belts on her, and she has had matches,
Yeah.
and it's just taken me a little bit to warm up to her in AEW, which is crazy because I love Sasha Banks. Like
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, that's my girl, right? And some of my favorite matches in WWE have been Sasha matches. Now see her in AEW, and it wasn't clicking for me for the longest, but I feel now she's been there for a while. This storyline specifically with Harley Cameron has been hilarious.
Yeah.
Harley gets in the ring and she's got 2 guitars there, and it's the Harley halftime show. That's what she's calling it. And she's like, "Oh, I'm here, but guess who's also here? Puppet Mercedes." And she turns around. It's her puppet from the ventriloquism show, Earl, with a purple wig and some glasses, who she calls the Mercedes Puppet Restaurant. And I'm telling you, I'm gagged. I'm
Yeah.
genuinely gagged because that puppet looks hilarious.
Yes, it does.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't watch AEW, or if you specifically haven't seen this feud, go look up the Harley halftime show because it's literally hilarious. She almost called Mercedes a cunt, and it it was just so good. And I really am glad that Harley is getting her chance to show not only her in-ring ability but also her comedic chops, because that girl is
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
And shout out to Tony Khan for really seeing something in Harley and being like, okay, yeah,
Exactly.
let's go with this. And also Mercedes is playing into it, so it's so good. Harley hit the shit out of Mercedes though with the mic. She's like, feel the wrath, and then bah, she like Russ friend literally clocked her. I had never seen something so violent in my life. I was like, God damn. Really clocked her. Restaurant, you have to see this segment. That shit was hilarious. But man, props to her, because I feel like if they're really building Harley, and Megan Bain also just signed,
Just signed.
re-signed. I don't know what it is, because she was signed before and now she's signed again. So I don't know what that story is. But
Yeah, same.
Megan Bain looks phenomenal, and I feel like right now the women's roster just has the potential to be really big. I think 2025 for women in AEW. I mean, I guess women in WWE too, but I think WWE is doing a good job. But AEW has a really good time to showcase all the women. You're building stars like Harley, Julia's back. You got Megan Bain. You have Deonna Purrazzo on the roster, who I do not see enough. You have Taya Valkyrie on there, who I also do not see enough. You got all of these women. Penelope Ford was used last night in a match against Thunder Rosa. It was phenomenal. One of the best matches of the night. They have so many women on the roster that they're not using. And I feel like this slow build can really be used for a good long run for the women in 2025. But we love the women in AEW. They
Absolutely.
fantastic. Do you have any comments on Harley? Comments on the women's roster overall in AEW?
No, friend, I agree with you on Harley. It's very nice to see that, like you said, that Tony Khan is giving her that he sees it and is giving her that opportunity.
Mhm.
Because this man, I'm so, hell no. This woman is very talented. She
Yeah.
can do everything. I mean, the fact that she can wrestle, but then also has a great voice.
Yep.
And then how you really can't believe that that puppet is not her. Like, amazing. She's amazing. I love her so much. She's hilarious. I already knew that she would be one of your favorites because of how funny she is. She's
Yeah.
so silly. But no rest, no comment. I agree with you. I think it also took me a little bit to warm up to Sasha's work in AEW. I'm so sorry, Mercedes work in AEW. But because I have always been a fan of her work. But I absolutely love this segment too. I think I hope it continues. I hope they continue to bring on more women because, like you said, they're building up people again to hopefully give us more matches
Yep.
and storylines when it comes to the women.
Yeah.
Because I'm also very excited to see Thunder Rosa again. I know they've been using her a lot again, and
Mhm.
I'm so excited to see her at the top again. So I hope
I
that
hope.
happens.
Yes. I did have us ending talking about WrestleMania, but I think we'll put that on hold till I guess WrestleMania is closer so we have a better idea of matches. I do want to go back to talk about the WWE tickets, because what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It's genuinely so insane. But like, you go on the TKO website right now and it says our premium sports and sports entertainment company. It's got some MMA stuff, and then it's got a bunch of wrestling. And I say they got WrestleMania stuff on here. Uh, it's a bunch of like just crazy stuff. And I'm like, of course, if you're trying to sell it as UFC, I just think about like how UFC events are so expensive in
Yeah.
general. That's not for families, or at least families that can afford the. I guess it is for families who can afford it, right? But that's
Right.
not the target demographic of WWE. The people who are watching and going to UFC are not going to WWE with their families. Like, it's not, to me, the same crowd. And yes, there are some overlaps of minorities. Like, oh, you might watch UFC. Like my mom and dad and I, sometimes we watch UFC stuff. We're not going to UFC events as a family. We're going to WWE stuff as a family. UFC is
Hmm.
expensive. And now I feel like those expenses are translating to WWE, and those prices are also going to expand, and I'm just not for it. I can't. You're going to Your average fan is not going to be able to go to these shows. So you're technically pricing out the OG fans.
Yeah. You know what, restaurant? And I know we're speaking about wrestling, but that I have the same worries as you, and I've been having the same worries as you when it comes to any show, really, because anytime I want to buy tickets for like a concert, every single time I feel like they're more and more expensive than the time before, you know? And I'll go to concerts like two, three concerts a year. And it's just getting to the point where you really, really, really can't even think about going to these shows and enjoy yourself because you really have to think about how much money you're going to possibly spend.
Absolutely.
And back then, also, you would be like, okay, well, we're going to get a ticket for Raw, right? And we're going to choose the best seat possible. Sometimes you can't even get the best seat possible anymore because they're so
Yeah.
expensive. And I really do hope that they're able to do something about that because, like you said, a lot of us, not just OG fans, but yeah, people that really just want to go there and see what we really love. We can't like
Yeah. And WWE
it's
prices have always been a little bit higher. I remember the first
yeah,
WWE show that I went to was a house show because that's what I could afford to take my dad and my brother to. So I'm like, oh, like I'll buy our tickets. And it was in Hammond, Indiana, in a random gym. And I remember I got to see Sami Zayn. I got to see Charlotte. That's where I really fell in love with Seth Rollins as a wrestler and as a entertainer because he's the one that went out at the end of the show and was like, "Thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting us." He was just so kind. That's the first wrestling T-shirt that I bought was a Seth Rollins shirt, but it was at a house show because that's what I could afford.
yeah,
And going to WWE, like even when we get, I think we went to like a SmackDown Christmas show. Like tickets are expensive, and some of the times
yeah.
we've only been able to go to those events because I've gotten some for free at work. And I'm like, thank God for that, because other than that, we wouldn't have been able to go.
No, the times that we have paid for our WWE tickets, we've definitely paid for sure over $100
Absolutely.
for sure. No, that's a true restaurant.
It's
That it
crazy.
really sucks that you have people like you that you know that you want to go to WrestleMania, you want to enjoy yourself, have a good seat so that you can see your people. But these tickets are selling like if they were what the Super Bowl.
It's insane.
I can't
And
even imagine how much Super Bowl tickets
no,
are. I
Super,
can't
they're like
even
30 grand.
imagine.
30 grand
That's
on
insane.
the low end, I believe.
That's
You know what?
crazy. Absolutely
It's
not.
today. Let's see if we can buy some Super Bowl tickets. I just want to see what the prices are. But man, it's just so unfortunate because already the world is so expensive already, and
Right?
you really don't have a lot of things that you can just go and really kind of like lose yourself and get away from the world and enjoy a hobby or whatever. Everything is so expensive, and I just do not understand where people's reasoning. And you know what? And it's not going to change unless people don't go to these events, because
Yeah,
WrestleMania is going to be full. And if it's full, they're going to be like, "Wow, people are buying these tickets. That's fine. We can keep them at this price."
exactly. Yep.
So, restaurant, we can actually go right now. Section 649 is only $2,000 each.
Only.
Hmm.
Okay.
And those are resale tickets. It's insane.
Where are they having the
Uh,
Super Bowl?
in New Orleans.
Oh, okay, okay,
New Orleans. Alrighty, well, that's my rant of the day ended. But
okay.
restaurant, do you have any final thoughts before we finish off the show?
I don't rest friend. I think we talked about everything that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, in that case, Rust friends, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Hopefully you win a lot of money betting on the Super Bowl, because I didn't understand it. And then hopefully I'll see you at WrestleMania in the parking lot when we're trying to buy tickets. So
I hope you all get the tickets that you want to get, okay? I
thank
hope you all get tickets.
I appreciate you, Rust friend. I love you so much. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Rust friend, where can our followers find us? Literally anywhere that's not here on YouTube.
Twitter, Instagram. We are on YouTube. Our link tree is always on our bios, and you can find all of our restaurant and wrestling related content on our link tree.
Period. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk more wrestling next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.